Hello everyone and welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales. I'm Adrian and today we're diving into yet another manufactured royal drama. This time about a so-called stern warning Meghan supposedly gave Prince Harry regarding Princess Kate. As usual, the tabloids are desperate to stir the pot, recycling tired narratives of Meghan versus Kate. But when we look closely, it's clear this is nothing more than a smear campaign designed to vilify Meghan and paint her as controlling while ignoring the truth of the situation. This story lacks any discernible footprint, appearing from thin air to create drama. It's as if it materialized out of the mist, designed more to provoke emotion than to inform. When we look for proof, we find only empty spaces and unanswered questions. Tabloid tales are like spider webs, spun to trap our interest. They glisten in the morning light, catching our eye, but often dissolve when touched by the warmth of scrutiny. These stories are crafted to ensnare, to hold us captive with intrigue and sensation. This narrative frames Meghan as controlling, reviving a profitable rivalry. It's a familiar pattern, pitting women against each other, fueling division, and keeping old conflicts alive for the sake of clicks and headlines. But is this rivalry real, or just another story spun for our consumption? We must proceed with caution, like a patient naturalist observing from a distance. Instead of rushing to judgment, let's watch, listen, and gather real evidence before drawing conclusions. Sometimes, the truth reveals itself only to those willing to wait and observe quietly. The loudest sounds aren't always significant. Truth is found in quiet, steady patterns. In a world full of noise, it's the subtle, consistent details that matter most. The wind may carry many voices, but only a few are worth listening to. This story is loud and demands reaction, but the wisest response is to question its source. Before we let it take root in our minds, let's ask, who benefits from this tale? What evidence supports it? In the end, the truth is often quieter than the rumors, but far more enduring. The Meghan versus Kate narrative is a well-trodden path, a story that has been told and retold countless times. It's a tale that captivates the public, drawing them into a world of imagined rivalries and tensions. It sells newspapers by relying on stereotypes, not facts. These stories are crafted to fit a certain mold, one that is easy to digest and even easier to sensationalize. This latest rumor fits into that mold, painting Meghan as the family's divider. It's a narrative that simplifies the complex dynamics of family relationships into a black and white story of conflict. It absolves others of their part in complex dynamics, ignoring the multifaceted nature of human interactions. Stories often start with unverified claims, whispered in corridors and amplified into supposed facts by the time they reach the public. The Meghan versus Kate narrative drives this cycle, guaranteeing clicks and controversy. It's a cycle that feeds on itself, growing larger with each retelling. We must recognize this pattern as a manufacturing process, one that turns whispers into headlines. It turns fragments into stories designed for impact, losing the truth of real relationships. The nuances of real life are lost in the rush to create a compelling story. Meghan and Kate become characters in a drama, not real people. They are cast in roles that the public expects them to play regardless of the truth. This Ultimatum story is just another product from a long-running assembly line, a testament to the power of the rumour mill to shape perceptions and create narratives that overshadow reality. We've seen stories crumble under scrutiny before. Time and again, headlines that once seemed definitive have been exposed as exaggerations, distortions, or outright fabrications. The cycle is familiar. A sensational claim grabs attention, dominates the news, and then, quietly, the truth emerges, often too late to undo the harm. Tales of Meghan's supposed demands and alleged difficulties were later shown to be false, the product of rumour and speculation rather than fact. These stories, repeated endlessly, painted a picture that was far from reality, fueling public debate and controversy. Yet, the damage was done. Public opinion had already been shaped, and the emotional toll on those involved was profound. For Meghan and Harry, the relentless scrutiny and negativity became a daily burden, affecting not just their public image, but their personal well-being. Words have immense power. They can build reputations, foster understanding, and inspire change, but they can also tear down, mislead, and destroy. In the hands of the media, words become tools that can either illuminate the truth or obscure it. Meghan has faced relentless negative reporting, with headlines and stories that often ignored nuance or context. This barrage of criticism has affected her deeply, leaving scars that are not always visible to the public eye. This isn't just about hurt feelings, it's about the lasting toll of being misrepresented. The constant misreporting can erode trust, isolate individuals, and create a hostile environment that lingers long after the headlines fade. Past stories like the infamous bridesmaid dress incident show how lies can stand unchallenged for months or even years, while the truth struggles to find its voice. These false narratives become part of the public record, shaping perceptions in ways that are hard to reverse. Understanding this history is crucial. It reveals a pattern of media behavior that repeats itself, not just with Meghan, but with many public figures. By recognizing these patterns, we can better question the motives and accuracy behind the stories we consume. So, when we hear new rumors or sensational headlines, we must view them through this lens of past misreporting. Only then can we begin to separate fact from fiction and approach each story with the critical eye it deserves. At the heart of this saga is a simple motive: protecting one's family. Meghan's desire to shield her children from harm is universal. Her decision to step back from royal duties was for preservation, not spite. This protective instinct is her true north, guiding her actions. When viewed through this lens, her actions are relatable and understandable. Stories of ultimatums contrast with her consistent focus on family safety. The narrative of Meghan controlling Harry removes his agency. It paints him as a puppet, ignoring his own experiences and decisions. Harry's desire for a different life began long before Meghan. He has spoken about the toll of media scrutiny and his mental health. Meghan didn't lead him away. She walked with him on a path he sought. Their partnership is about shared values and goals, not control. Harry is responsible for his choices, and to credit them all to Meghan erases him from his story. The media's treatment of Meghan and her family is like a distorting mirror. Normal life events are warped into something else entirely. Their actions are scrutinized through a negative lens, creating a double standard. This bias extends to their children, with criticism no matter what they do. The narrative twists reality, presenting a caricature of their lives. The ultimatum story is a simple fiction, a distorted image of truth. We have a choice: accept fed stories or think for ourselves. This path requires questioning, looking for evidence, and recognizing patterns. Meghan and Harry have the right to set their own boundaries and protect their family. We are spectators, shown an edited version of their story. We don't know their private conversations or full family dynamics, and that's okay. Let us find inspiration in their resilience and the importance of protecting one's peace. Their story is about autonomy and courage, not petty ultimatums. Next time a dramatic headline appears, let us pause and remember the human beings at the center. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Adrian, and this has been Meghan and Harry Tales. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you stand with the Sussexes and believe in their right to live free from media manipulation. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical, and always see beyond the headlines.